Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Advantage Assam 2.0 Investment and Infrastructure Summit 2025 in Assam's Guwahati on Tuesday. PM Modi was felicitated by Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. The summit was also attended by a number of eminent leaders from the world of business. Addressing the summit, Prime Minister Modi said that northeastern India will have an important role in making India developed by 2047. The summit focused on Assam's industrial evolution, global trade partnerships, booming industries and the vibrant MSME sector. India's President Draupadi Murmu arrived in Bihar's Patna on Tuesday. State Governor Arif Mohammad Khan and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar received President Murmu on her arrival in the capital city. President Murmu addressed the centenary celebration of the Patna Medical College in the eastern state of Bihar on Tuesday. The second day of the three-day Delhi Assembly session began with chaos as several Aam Aadmi Party MLAs got suspended by Speaker Vijendra Gupta. Newly elected Speaker expelled 12 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs, including leader of opposition Atishe, from the House for disruption and sloganeering during Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saksena's address on Tuesday. Bharatiya Janata Party led Delhi administration tabled 14 Comptroller and Auditor General or CAG reports in the Assembly sitting on Tuesday. Addressing the Assembly, Delhi's Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena said that CAG report would expose the administrative failures of the former AAP government. As the Mahakumbh Mela nears its fifth and last Amrit Snan on the occasion of Mahashivratri, devotees continue arriving in Prayagraj district of Uttar Pradesh to take a dip at the holy Sangam. Zonal bathing plan at Mahakumbh would remain in effect for the final bathing festival, wherein people would take the holy dip at any of the 48 bathing ghats located nearest to them. Delhi police registered an FIR a day after a New York-Delhi flight received a potential bomb threat on Sunday. The 78th session of the Executive Committee of the African Asian Rural Development Organization in New Delhi concluded with a renewed commitment to ensuring that development reaches remote villages in Asia, Africa. 80 people have been arrested in connection with the November 24th violence in Sambal district of northern state of Uttar Pradesh. The Director General of Military Operations of the Indian Army, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai, on Tuesday reviewed the situation along the Indo-Myanmar border in the northeastern state of Manipur. Developed by IIT Madras in collaboration with the Ministry of Railways, India's first Hyperloop project was lauded by India's Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav during the valedictory session of the 5-day-long Global Hyperloop competition hosted by IIT Madras on Monday. A Delhi court on Tuesday awarded life imprisonment to former Congress MP Sajjan Kumar in a murder case related to the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. Indian equity indices ended on a flat note in the volatile session on Tuesday. At close, the Sensex was up about 148 points at 74,602. The Nifty 50 extended losses to the sixth consecutive session, settling at 22,547, down 6 points. South Korea's central bank on Tuesday slashed interest rates and its annual growth forecast as it looks to bolster the economy in the face of US tariffs. A sea of red in Asian markets as investors grapple with risk posed by the US intensifying its technology war with China in areas like artificial intelligence, quantum computing and aerospace. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index tumbled 2.3%, while Japan's Nikkei dropped 0.9%. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan also dropped 1.3%. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer pledged on Tuesday to boost defence spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2027, ahead of talks with US President Donald Trump in Washington. Alibaba announced on Monday it will spend more than $50 billion on artificial intelligence and cloud computing over the next 3 years. Oil prices were slightly higher on Tuesday. Brent crude rose 0.2% at $74.93 a barrel, while US crude was up 0.3% at $70.92 a barrel. Gold was off 0.2% at $2,945 per ounce, having hit a record high of $2,956.15 on Monday, with the $3,000 level close. Apple announced it would spend $500 billion in US investments in the next 4 years and add about 20,000 research and development jobs across the country. The coffee house chain Starbucks is set to lay off 1,100 corporate employees as CEO Brian Niccol pushes ahead with his turnaround effort that has been struggling with falling sales. Artificial intelligence startup Anthropic released the world's first hybrid reasoning AI model that can outperform other models to solve more complex problems in math and coding. French President Emmanuel Macron met with US President Donald Trump in Washington on Monday amid the third anniversary of Russia-Ukraine conflict. Macron emphasized that Ukraine must be included in discussions to resolve the conflict and warned that any peace deal must not result in Ukraine's surrender. Donald Trump said that a peace deal could be achieved in weeks, underlining his willingness to re-engage with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Monday that Russia was not opposed to Europe's involvement in Russia-US peace talks aimed at settling the conflict in Ukraine. Putin acknowledged that a deal to end the conflict remains distant, but noted that US President Donald Trump is approaching the issue rationally. US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth welcomed Saudi Arabia's Defense Minister Prince Khalid bin Salman to the Pentagon, saying the United States' partnership with Saudi Arabia matters a great deal. US President Donald Trump confirmed that tariffs on Canada and Mexico are moving forward despite ongoing diplomatic efforts by those countries to avoid a trade crisis. Donald Trump's advisor Elon Musk said on Monday that starting this week, government workers would be put on administrative leave if they fail to return to the office. Federal workers on Monday filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk for violating the law with his weekend demand that employees explain their accomplishments or risk being fired. In Bangladesh, student leader Nahid Islam has resigned from his role as the Information and Broadcasting Advisor to the interim government's Advisory Council. The European Union on Monday pushed Israel over its operation in the West Bank and the fragile ceasefire in Gaza at a meeting with the country's foreign minister in Brussels. Nearly 7,000 people have died since January in fighting in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The Prime Minister of the DRC told a high-level meeting of the Human Rights Council in Geneva. Impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol said on Tuesday that South Korea was facing an existential crisis when it declared martial law as he faced the final day of impeachment hearings that could formally remove him from office. South Korea has suspended new downloads of the Chinese AI app DeepSeek in the country after the app acknowledged failing to take into account some of the agency's rule on protecting personal data. At least 4 people were killed and 6 others injured on Tuesday following a collapse at a highway construction site in South Korea. A South Carolina man convicted of murdering his ex-girlfriend's parents has chosen to be put to death by firing squad next month in what would be the first such execution in the United States since 2010. In a tragic mishap in Colombia, 9 soldiers were killed and 20 were injured when their vehicle plunged into a ravine. A Colombian national was captured as he attempted to board a flight from Cartagena to Amsterdam carrying 19 cocaine capsules hidden under a toupee on Monday. Taiwan's Coast Guard detained a China-linked cargo ship on Tuesday following the disconnection of an undersea cable near the Penghu Islands near the Taiwan Strait. The 6th edition of the India-Japan Joint Military Exercise Dharmagarden began on February 24th at the East Fuji training area in Japan. We are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Some more stories. Snow continues to affect wide areas of Japan. The Met Agency said strong cold air mass is mainly affecting the Tohoku, Hokuriku and Chugoku regions. Japanese weather officials said the conditions are expected to ease, but localized heavy snow is likely to hit flat areas of the Kinki, Chugoku and Shikoku regions. Following the heavy snowfall in Japan, the authorities have warned of possible avalanches. Traffic disruptions and power outages are also possible. Snow blankets the hills of Beirut and the mountains of Lebanon as cold front sweeps across the Middle East. Unstable weather, including storms and cold waves, has impacted 5 Arab countries, with Iraq experiencing snowfall and school closures. Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and Egypt are also facing cold temperatures and weather disruptions, including dust storms and maritime hazards. Hikers are taking advantage of freezing winter weather to get a rare glimpse inside short-lived and potentially lethal ice caves. These appeared on the Morte Rasch Glacier in eastern Switzerland. Cold wave continues in Jammu and Kashmir as Srinagar records minimum temperature of 0 degrees Celsius on Monday. Meanwhile, tourists were seen enjoying chilly weather at Dal Lake. Heavy rain causes localized flooding in Vietnam's Phu Yen. Heavy rainfall exceeding 100 mm is expected to continue till Wednesday. Rainfall brings relief to strawberry cultivators in J&K's Udhampur as dry spell ends. Farmers have been dealing with dried out fields and withering crops due to the lack of water. New York City demonstrated its latest flood protection project, a flip-up flood gate intended to defend Manhattan against storm surge. The project will install a combination of flood walls and deployable flip-up barriers to protect the neighborhood from storm surge while also maintaining access and visibility to the waterfront. China aims to effectively eliminate severe air pollution by the end of 2025. Authorities ramp up efforts in pollution control and emissions reduction in the battle for blue skies. Dense fog grips Indian city Puri in eastern state of Odisha. The reduced visibility caused traffic disruptions. Train services were also delayed. Unseasonably warm temperatures have triggered almond trees to blossom weeks early in northeastern Spain. Almond trees started to bloom in late January, roughly 18 days earlier than usually expected. Ahead of Mahashivratri, 25 feet tall shivling has been decorated with paddy at Brahma Kumari Centre in India's southern state, Karnataka. Mahashivratri celebrations will begin on Wednesday. The festival of Mahashivratri celebrates the grand marriage of Lord Shiva with the goddess of fertility, love and beauty, Parvati, who is also known as Shakti or power. Young artist crafts Kedarnath temple model from matchsticks for Mahashivratri. The stunning miniature model has been made using 602 matchsticks. Shashwat Ranjan Sahu, a talented artist from Puri, has sculpted an intricate miniature model of Kedarnath temple. This unique artwork, measuring 9 cm in length and 8 cm in height, took 4 days to complete. Carnival enthusiasts in Rio de Janeiro are flocking to the Sara market to buy props for their costumes ahead of the official start of the Rio Carnival on February 28. Vibrant masks, hats and confetti are selling rapidly as both locals and visitors put the final touches on the outfits for the grand party. This year's carnival is expected to mobilize 6 million people. The Ta Phu Ki Lua Temple Festival in Vietnam's Lang Son, recognized as a national intangible cultural heritage, wrapped up on Monday with an exciting firecracker festival and a grand palanquin procession. The event celebrates the contribution of historical figures who contributed to the development of Ki Lua market town. This year's festival saw a record number of visitors, making it the most successful edition. Uzbekistan participated in the largest tourism fair in Scandinavia for the first time. About 65,000 guests attended the Danish Travel Show Fair, which is traditionally held in the Danish city of Hornen. Representatives of various regions of Uzbekistan demonstrated national handicraft products at the Surajkund Mela International Festival held in the Indian state of Haryana. Uzbekistan has been a partner country of the festival for several times. A major event on the theme Samarkand, the jewel of the Great Silk Road, was held in Stockholm. It was attended by the Swedish public, tour operators, journalists and bloggers, as well as representatives of the diplomatic corps in Stockholm. At the event in Stockholm, not only the beautiful and youthful Samarkand, but also the rich cultural and historical heritage, tourism and gastronomic potential of all of Uzbekistan were widely demonstrated through concerts and exhibitions. The Minang Cultural Festival was held for the first time at Indonesia House Amsterdam, a cultural center that serves as a bridge connecting Indonesia and the Netherlands. More than 400 visitors crowded the 5-story building. The festival showcased the authenticity of Minangkabau cultural heritage, featuring a series of programs including traditional dances, music performances, a culinary and Songket textile bazaar, as well as exhibitions. Dubai's Emirates skyline lit up on the occasion of 14th annual Sharjah Light Festival. The theme of the event was Art Meets Technology, showcasing a harmonious blend between modern technology and artistic expression. The Caspian coast bustled with pink flamingos. Every year, pink flamingos fly to the territory of the Khazar State Nature Reserve. These birds are listed in the Red Book of Turkmenistan. Japan traditional doll Hina were put on display under lights cast by traditional lanterns in Okayama Prefecture, Nimi City. The annual Hina exhibition takes place before the traditional Girls Festival, which is held in Japan on March 3rd. About 1,500 dolls, which were provided by local residents, were put on display. Visitors enjoyed looking at the dolls, which were displayed under Bonbori paper lanterns and bamboo lanterns. Blackpink star Jennie has released new track Extra L, a collaboration with US rapper Deutsche. Extra L is the third single of the K-pop star's upcoming debut solo album Ruby. Bollywood star John Abraham's upcoming political thriller The Diplomat has announced a new release date. The film will now hit theatres on March 14, 2025. After the massive success of Amar Singh, Chamkila actress Pariniti Chopra will make her web series debut with an upcoming mystery thriller. The untitled mystery thriller will stream on Netflix. Australia's game against South Africa in the Champions Trophy has been abandoned without a ball being bowled because of persistent rain in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. England's fast bowler Bryden Carse has been ruled out of the tournament due to a toe injury. Riding on Rachin Ravindra's stun, New Zealand chased down 237-run target to beat Bangladesh by 5 wickets in their Champions Trophy match on Monday. With this, India and New Zealand have made it to the semi-finals of the Champions Trophy 2025, while host Pakistan are eliminated from the tournament. New Zealand pacer Matt Henry moved to joint 8th with legendary Richard Headley for New Zealand's highest wicket taker in ODIs. England will take on Afghanistan in a must-win game at Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium on Wednesday. In a historic Women's Premier League clash, UP Warriors edged past RCB in the tournament's first ever Super Over, securing a dramatic 4-run victory on Monday. Gujarat Giants will be looking to regain form as it faces Delhi Capitals in Bengaluru on Tuesday. San Diego FC shocked defending champions Los Angeles Galaxy with a 2-0 win in their first ever Major League Soccer match. Barcelona take on Atletico Madrid in their Copa del Rey semi-final first leg on Tuesday. Indian men's hockey team failed to maintain their winning momentum in the FIH Pro League as they lost 3-2 to England. Indian women, coming off a morale-boosting win against Germany, suffered a 4-2 loss to Netherlands. Indian women's hockey team goalkeeper Savita Punia joined elite club with 300th international club in the match against Netherlands. World champion George Martin will miss the opening MotoGP race of the season in Thailand at the weekend after suffering several fractures in a fall during training. Former world number 1 Kidami Srikanth will spearhead India's challenge at the German Open 2025 badminton competition starting Tuesday. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.